Welcome back to my Let's Play for Pokemon Crystal and my Mono Water Run. And it's time to make our way to Cerulean City. So we can then head north of the city to take out a bunch of trainers that are going to be annoying at one point or another for us, so might as well do it now. Gosh darn it. I hate these battles. It's just they're so pointless. None of these trainers can stand up to you, because they're all like level 30 or below. Which just makes these battles suck. Because they just eat up time. I mean, I guess if you had a really bad team who came here, you might have some fun with it. But they'd have to be really under-leveled. And honestly, I don't feel like doing that. I don't have any water Pokemon really on hand I could throw at this besides, you know, a Manticore, which is so under-leveled for these fights, it'd die instantly, pretty much. And that's about it. I don't have many backup Pokemon I picked up for this team, because I just never had the need to. So yeah, we're just taking out some trash mobs, just for convenience for later, when we have to come bug Misty to come back to her gym. But we can't bother with that until, you know, we visit the power plant. Which I fear I put off for another episode, because that's a whole nother level of tedious. We have to run towards it and then go back to Cerulean to fight the Team Rocket Grunt, then head back with the part. It just eats up way too much time for its own good. So I figured I'd split this up into 3 episodes. I mean, normally I do it as 1 episode, but it ends up being like half an hour plus long. And I really want to get, you know, a lot of episodes done today, so splitting up into smaller segments seemed like the better option. So at least I get an update done, even if it's not the longer update, you know? At least it's something. And I got other stuff I want to work on too. Because I want to get like 14 videos done today, roughly total, so I can get back up on my schedule, so I can reach 5,000 videos by my 3rd year anniversary. So yeah, I gotta try and push myself into probably a bunch of RP Nature games, or after this anyway. There's no other way I'm gonna get to that total right now, because my Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald runs aren't ready to move anywhere unless I go and acquire a Gyarados, and I'd have to do that in grinding time, which probably means I'll be up late tonight working on that, because I want to try and get an updates done for those tomorrow. Even if they're not super long updates, I'd like to get something for them. And having Gyarados would be the best pick for that, because I can then give it Surf, Dive, and even Waterfall later on, as well as Strength, and basically use it as an HM slave to cover all my main bases. At least that's the plan. There's no reason not to use Gyarados as an HM slave, really, in those runs. Except maybe the flying run, but even there, I'm like, you know, Gyarados ain't that great to have when it comes to that team, usually, considering how weak it is to lightning attacks. And, well, I guess it does offer some strength advantages, unless you're going to give it, like, Dragon Dance and Hyper Beam. It can't do that much. And even then, you wouldn't want to use Dragon Dance with Hyper Beam, because then you have to wait in between attacks, you'd be taking 3 shots. And with Gyarados' vulnerabilities to electricity and stuff, that can be a definite disadvantage. So yeah, I'm not sure what I do with the Gyarados I put on the flying team. I know I used one the first time I did the run, but then ended up getting basically sidelined by my Wingull or Pelipper by the time I got to the end of it, because it ended up being so overloaded because I was using it to kill basically everything with Ice Beam and stuff. Because it had a lot more coverage going for it than Gyarados or any of the other Pokemon the team had. Honestly, the team is probably a bit more balanced than it was the last time I did it. And I'd like to keep it that way, but who knows. I don't know. For the Moemon team, well, right now the main goal is just to use Skull Kraken and Toxic Spray as much as possible. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to spam a lot of Toxic Spray next episode. I mean, I suppose Gyarados does have Dragon Rage and Bite it can use against the Ghost Pokemon, but Dragon Rage probably going to do enough damage to kill any of them, because, you know, it gets set to 40 damage per attack, so I can't really improve that. And Bite's probably not going to be the best option to use against the Ghost. It'll work, but Gyarados doesn't have the stat to really make good use out of it. Sort of a damned if you, damned if you don't sort of thing. On the other hand, Vaporeon can probably run right through with, well, let's face it, it's water move. And just crush everything that gets in its way. Yellow, I still need to do some powering up. I probably can get through Victory Road, though. I might try that. Maybe tomorrow, because I want to work on things I can definitely do today. I'm gonna have to experiment to find out what I can do with, Yellow. With, the Leaf Green run, I need to power up. There's no getting around it. I need to power up to about probably the upper 40s or so I can take on my rival. Unfortunately, that's not exactly ready just yet, because I haven't been working on grinding in that run, because usually I save grinding for Mondays and Tuesdays for the most part, at least major grinding, and I sort of fell asleep yesterday around 7, then woke up about 7 this morning, so yeah. Didn't really get any grinding work done, then fell asleep again until about noon, after being up for a little bit, and getting some work done on Final Fantasy X. Oh yeah, that episode took longer than I would have liked because I wasn't sure if I wanted to take the Chocobo route and run through the high road or stop and grab, just walk through, because there's a scene you can skip over if you ride the Chocobo. So eventually I decided I'd go with walking, but then ride the Chocobo to go get the Mars Crest. So yeah, I spent probably about an hour working on that episode. Though someone argue it's best when I go in blind and not know anything. Which, they probably have a point. When I know a lot of stuff, I can't help but blurt out secrets sometimes with where the game's going. Whereas a lot of these games are so old, I'm like, ugh, does it really matter? Well, let's finish off Porygon real fast. I will admit, this is probably going faster than the previous 2 episodes. There is that going for it, I suppose. Yeah, well, it wasn't a hard battle, what can I say? Porygon's not exactly that impressive of a pick. I mean, sure, it can use stuff like Sharpen to raise its attack and Conversion to change its typing, so it can definitely be a fun Pokemon to play with, but definitely not something I'd pick to use in battle myself, really. But hey, sometimes the game likes to throw the oddball at you, what can I say? Maybe if I do another normal run, I'll think about grabbing a Porygon at some point just for messing around with it a little bit, but I have my doubts. They're pretty expensive to buy at the game corner, and you have to pick them up so late in the game. They're just not something you usually want to bother with anyway. By the time you can get to it, it's like it's so outdated by everything else you can throw at your opponents. It's the same problem that has been, well, dogging the fire run. By the time I get to the other fire Pokemon, my Blaziken was so much more powerful than everything else, like, why would I even bother picking anything else up fire-wise, practically? It's always going to be lagging behind my other stuff, there's just no getting around it. No, don't even bother learning Safeguard. Okay. And now we come up against Charmeleon. And easy knockout again. Jeez. Hardly worth the effort, Charmeleon. Man, how can you even call that a good battle? You got completely dominated. You didn't even really get a chance to fight back, practically. Well, that'll do for this episode. Till next time, then. See ya.